Welcome to another weekly edition of our StaySmart newsletter and podcast, brought to you by Vicinity Corporate Housing, where we try to keep you updated on what we see happening in the industry. It's a cloudy, overcast day here in Kansas City, but I'll go ahead and dive right in. The first article we have is about Airbnb. They released their first quarter earnings. Really good first quarter for Airbnb, over $2.1 billion in revenue, 18% year over year. It's actually looking like their best Q1 ever. Their earnings were almost $425 million, a huge increase over last year. They saw a 60% increase in their downloads of the app, and then they just saw the biggest number of listings that they've had in a Q1. So a really good Q1 for Airbnb. They talk a lot about, some of the things that happened, the way the Easter holiday fell, the solar eclipse in North America. That was a big impact on demand for Q1 for Airbnb. And they talk about some headwinds in Q2, a lot of that kind of on the supply side, and that might suppress some of the pricing. And speaking of headwinds, it kind of goes into article 2, which is about Vacasa. Vacasa is a Portland-based vacation property management company, vacation rental, short-term rental company. They also announced their Q1 earnings. Obviously, those were down, bookings, total revenue, and they also announced some additional layoffs. So there's a second round of layoffs this year. 13% of their workforce, almost 800 employees. They had the Q4 of last year, they had a $74 million loss. So it's been a tough run. This is actually their fourth round of layoffs in the last 2 years. So it's been a tough run for Vacasa. They talked a lot about, reducing kind of corporate level employees and trying to get more focused on the market level employees, which I do think that makes sense. But it'll be interesting to see kind of where Vacasa goes. Right now, it's a lot of layoffs, a lot of struggles and challenges that they've had in the last couple years. And then the next article that we have is about business travel. We've talked a lot about business travel, and this is about American Express. They reported their Q1 earnings, and business travel in particular, they mentioned large corporations, specifically big tech companies, that they saw a 30% increase in business travel, while the medium to small size companies, they saw a decline in. So it's kind of interesting, in particular, business travel, where that's coming from. And obviously, Amex acquisition of TST later this year in Q2, we'll see if that gets finalized. And then the final article we have is about the Real ID. So originally introduced in 2005 with the original deadline of 2008. Well, now the Department of Homeland Security is saying that next year is really going to be the date. May 7th, 2025 is when they're going to fully implement Real ID. If you're not familiar with that, it's a driver's license that can be used like a passport domestically. So it has a little red or the gold star on your driver's license. So make sure that you have that on your driver's license if you're going to want to fly in an airplane in the U.S. past May 7th of 2025. It's definitely something that is interesting because right now, as we're talking a lot about visual recognition at airport security and how that is going to get approved. Real ID is taking almost 20 years to finally get implemented. It'll be interesting to see if visual scanning at TSA screening is going to get approved anytime soon. But anyways, Real ID, check that out. It's an article that's going to be relevant to you if you do not have that driver's license right now. Those are the articles that we saw this week. If there's anything that you'd like to see us talk about, please let us know. But that's what I see transitioning this week. Take care, everyone.